We're going to walk through the process of submitting a change update form for an IRB approved open study. Right now, I'm in the test system, but it functions the same as the user system. I'm in My Workspaces, Study Assistant. I'm going to scroll down until I find the study that I need to make the change for, and it's right here, IRB approved open, 23/17/67. And I'm going to click on the square with the arrow in it. This will take me into the study. When I'm in here, I'm at the main study dashboard. This is where I can find all of the documents for the study that you can find over here on the left-hand side. I can also see the submission history for the study and any correspondence that was sent to me by the IRB office. And at the bottom left-hand side, I find the post-approval forms, including the annual check-in form, a conclusion form, continuing review form, promptly reportable information form, and the research change update form. I'm going to select that, and that will take me into the research change update submission area. As you can see, I don't have anything in this section, and I will need to come up here and add a new form. This will begin the process of creating a new change update form for this study submission. The first thing we have to do is verify then certify that we don't have any other change update forms either pending with the IRB or in draft status. If you want more clarification, you can click on the Help button here to the side, and you'll find helpful screenshots of how to determine if you have anything that is in process that needs to be finished before you submit the change update form. Additionally, if you need any other help, you can come up here to the Help button at the top and click on that, and you will find user guides, including a user guide for how to submit a post-approval change update form. If you would prefer to use screenshots and a narrative approach for doing this process, you can find that here. I'm going to verify and certify that I do not have any other change update forms pending with the IRB or in draft. The next question you'll be asked is what type of change will you be making? And depending on what you click, you may have additional boxes open up that will require you to submit additional information. So please be on the lookout for those. If you're going to submit a local personnel change, just click that option and you'll see that you can assign key study personnel to the study. You'll do this exactly the same way that you did when you submitted your initial application. You'll find your user who will be in the directory, select them, and then add them to your study. I'm going to add myself as research support staff, as a student researcher, and that I want to be contacted. Close setup of study personnel. That will allow me to be added to the study. A little bit later on, the change update form will ask you to provide additional information such as contact information and the role of the study team member. Please be sure to complete that. If we don't have that information, we'll have to send this back to you to get the information. If you need to make a change to the IRB application, just click there. And this will open a box that will allow you to make changes to the application. You can click here, which will allow you to see all of the applications that are in the system right now. You want to make changes to the most recently approved version 1.1 in this study. And I want to add a revision. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to confirm that I want to create a revision. Prism is then going to open up the IRB application so that I can make a revision to whatever section it needs to be revised. And so I'm going to add to the collaboration section, section 9, that I'm going to add a BTC at SOM medical student as a collaborator. And what that collaborator will do. That should be good. And any other information I need to add, I will do that here. And making sure that I update any other areas where the IRB would need to know that the medical student, the new personnel member, is going to be dealing with data or having any other responsibilities with data safety monitoring, anything like that. So save and continue to next section. And remember, as you're changing the application, additional boxes might open up. So be mindful as you go along that you might be triggering the system to ask more questions or require additional information. And it could change the way that the application flows. So you want to be checking to see if that's happening. You will get a dialog box from Prism, and it will say that your application flow has changed and you might have additional questions to answer. When I'm done with that, and I will go to the application questions complete button here at the bottom. And I will save and continue to the next section. And that's going to automatically take me back to my change update form so that I can continue to address any of the changes that are going to occur in this change update. So I'm back to my change update form. And because I made changes to the IRB application, you can see that it is attached to version 1.2. And I also have to identify any changes that occurred below. And personnel changed, and I'm adding the personnel here. And I'm going to include all of the contact information, and then I'm going to change, maybe they are working with data safety monitoring. Anything like that. If anything else changes in the application, please be sure to specify exactly what that change was and to make sure that the information in these boxes on the change update form mirrors the information in the application. They should be mirror images of each other so that when we receive the change update application, we can align it with your IRB application. If you have a study that has a separate protocol, most of our studies do not have that. You could upload and attach a new version of your protocol, but for most of the studies, it's the IRB application that has all of the information about the study. You might be making a change to consent forms. If that's the case, you can select or revise existing or add a new consent. If I want to revise my existing, I hit select and revise, and then as you can see, this is my most recently approved consent form, and I want to create a revision. So I'm going to click on create a revision, and then I'm going to check out the document. That's going to save this to my desktop, and I will be able to make changes at this point to this original consent document. And when those changes are completed, I will save it to my I will save it again, and then I will check the document back in. So I will find the document, open and save selected file. That's going to create a new version of the consent form, upload it into the system so that it can be reviewed by the IRB reviewers. Make sure that you choose a file name that makes sense. If it's a consent form or a revised consent form or updated consent form, make sure that you identify that. Version 1.1, I'm going to update the version date because it's definitely not February. It'll be June 26th. Consent, and I'm going to save the consent form. So my new version of the consent form is in here. ready for review. And then make sure if you have track changes to also add those so that we can see what changed from the original consent to the new consent, the updated consent. And you can add track changes by clicking on the add a new consent and then call it track changes. Then let us know if you're going to need to reconsent individuals into the study. And if you have any questions, there's a help button here that will give you guidance on when you would need to reconsent participants to the study. Let us know, of course, if the study status changes and what we need to know about that. Are you permanently closed to accrual of subjects but still doing data analysis? Are you reactivating a study? Is there a temporary closure to accrual of subjects? Has the study been suspended? If there are any changes to recruitment materials, you can select that there and then tell us of the change, describe it, let us know, and then you can either revise your existing like we did before or add a new document or add multiple documents. If anything changed in the investigator's brochure, package, insert, or device label, again, you can update that. You can add the new version and then describe any changes, select or revise, add a new document, add multiple documents. And remember, if there is a document already in there, then you would check it out, save it to your desktop, make any changes, and then check it back in. Let us know if there's any funding or changes to any funding. And that everyone is up to date on their conflict of interest statement. If the study title needs to change, are there other areas of the study that also need to be updated because of the title change, including consent form, recruitment documents, anything like that? And if there's any other change or submittal that happens, you can just describe that here. And remember, everything that you change in this change update needs to be explicitly explained in the change update form. And if you make any changes to documents, it should mirror whatever you write in the change update form. Describe the rationale or the reason for the changes. And then, is it a minor change? Does it change the risk of the study? Or is it a significant change? And change the risk of the study. After that, hit save and continue. And here's where I can enter the information for my new study team member. I'm a VTC-OSM medical student. I'm going to put all the information in. We need to check with Virginia Tech to get approval from their IRB office for a VTC-SOM medical student. So please give us their VTC email as well as their Carilion email. In the collaboration section, you can put their VT email. That way we can help Virginia Tech find them pretty easily. Entering all the information and affiliation and exactly what the person is going to be doing. Data analysis, we said. And save and continue. And again, make sure that all of that information matches up between what's in the change update form, what is in the IRB application that has changed. Then I'm going to sign off and submit. Just exit the form. And this will take you back to the dashboard. There you go. You can see process submission. We can click send here and confirm that we want to send it for review. And again, you only want to have one form pending in the system. I'll back out here and go to my desktop for Study Assistant. All right. Now I just want to make sure that it's going where it needs to. So I'm just going to click on here, and I see that it says routing in progress, and that if I need to retract the submission, I can. As long as the IRB isn't reviewing it, you should be able to retract the submission and edit at that point. But I can see that the routing's in progress, so I know that it's been submitted into the system. It's always good just to do that one last check with Prism to make sure you don't need to submit it. And that's the process for submitting a research change update form. Thank you.